Coming up, the season finale of the HBO Hard Knocks featuring the New York Jets is here. I am recapping the show tonight. It just finished. We hit the record button, and I got a new guest. Before we get to the show, though, I want to remind you, if you're new to the YouTube channel, please subscribe to it. The channel grows with each subscriber, and we have grown in the last few weeks. The more people listen, the more the channel does better, and it's because of you guys, the loyal fans. Not to mention, there is a wealth of content on my channel. My comedy is up there. My interviews are up there. I have 2 new stand-up clips going up this week, so look out for that. A lot of fun. On the show today, this show is a special one because it doubles as not only the Hard Knocks season finale, but the preview of the new season of the Sunday Night Talk 2023. So my guest is Omar Carmona. He joins me. He has an important announcement that you need to listen to, and we're going to break down our teams and finally the unveiling of the new categories for 2023. If you know the show, you know we give out awards every week, and this year I am unveiling some new ones and some classics. So stick around and listen to the unveiling. Get Omar's reactions to it as well. The season is almost here, and we had our own little preview Sunday Night Talk. Hard Knocks first, Sunday Night Talk preview in the second half of the show. Here we go. Are you ready? This is the Hard Knocks season finale and the Sunday Night preview show. Here it is. All right, it is Tuesday night. The season finale of Hard Knocks was tonight, and joining me to cap off Hard Knocks is Omar Carmona. He is the co-host of my show, the Sunday Night Talk, which runs through the regular season of the NFL. So we are combining this episode, season finale Hard Knocks, and we are doing our Sunday Night Talk preview show in the second half of this episode. Omar, it's been a very busy summer for you, so I hope you're ready for this. You're looking trim. Your hair is cut. You told me yeah, your hair's cut. You told me all right, I'm going to take a shower and then we'll record. I'm like, so you're clean and everything ready. It's almost like your first day of school is tomorrow or something.
Yeah, I'm a candidate. That's so, I'm running for judge, so I got to look the part.
All right. Okay. Very good. Well, we have some stuff to talk about with that. So let's catch up on the summer first of all. So let's start with this football season all summer long. The off-season stories were fun to listen to, fun to pay attention to. How much do you invest yourself in the off-season?
I'm still sold. I mean, yes, it is a break. Obviously, I don't have to worry about, watching games, but the NFL is the never-ending male soap opera. It is what we live for. This is our time to gossip and listen to the rumor mill. So it brings the high school girl out in a lot of us fans.
Yeah, it's very true because we had coach talk early in the off season with Sean Payton. Where will he go? Who will he coach? What will the team look like? Then we had some talk about who the Hard Knocks team is going to be. Oh, where's Aaron Rodgers going to be? The schedule release, the draft. We had these little bite-sized morsels to hold us over through the
who's
holding
out? Who's holding out?
Yep. Yeah, we have these little fun things that just like our news cycle, it's about a 48-hour cycle. And then we're on to the next thing. We're like, who said what? Sean Payton's on what? Okay, next thing. Nothing.
A controversial coaching tweet. I think Sean Payton was stirring the pot a little bit with Aaron Rodgers. When he went after Coach Hackett that way. And then, there's always the arrest. There's a big arrest in the off season.
Right.
There's a sudden retirement. It seems like there's always every year there's that one guy that says, yeah, I'm not going to do it again. Always a big plea deal. There's always a big sentence somewhere. I think it was this off season was Ruggs. I think he got sentenced or will be getting sentenced. Um, so it's yeah, it's a never ending. So who gets hurt? There's always that one injury, but it's like a non-football injury. It's a
Hmm.
issue with
Oh
fireworks
yeah,
or
fireworks or a
on an
grilling
A
burn.
on an ATV, something like that.
Fun stuff this
Fun
offseason.
stuff.
We need like a TMZ for just the NFL. We could
Yes,
sit around. I think you and I could do that pretty easily, don't you think? We consume ourselves with
we
frivolous
should we
stories.
should really reach out to Levin on that.
Yeah, let's do it. You got connections. You're out there in the political world. Hey, is there anything you get into that's non-football related? Are you a reality show guy? Will that hook you? Will you go NBA for the 2 weeks? Or
I'll, you know, I'll do
are you
I'll do
just
some
biding your time?
NBA. No,
Yeah.
I really like NBA playoffs. I really get into NBA playoffs. Um, when the Red Sox are playing well, I should be a better fan. And I'm usually watching the Red Sox when they're winning. And this year they didn't have a great year. Um, but yeah, I catch up on some series and maybe I haven't been watching. But no, I don't do reality TV. I hear it's gonna be The Bachelor, but like a real old man now.
Oh, wow. And you're saying that might interest you? What are you saying
I don't
by
know.
bringing
It's
this
just
up?
yeah, that may be the one that gets me.
Give it one episode. I watched a season of The Bachelor. I thought it was pretty good. It didn't hook me, but I did watch the one season. I thought it was a fine show. You know what I did get into because the American Gladiators documentary two of them went up. One on ESPN 30 for 30, one on Netflix. I watched them both. They were so good. And I go
They
right
were.
and I go right to YouTube and I'm like, let me just catch some clips. The entire American Gladiators season is on YouTube, full
Yeah.
episodes. I think I haven't stopped watching them for the last like 12 days. I just click one and I just let it play. I watch the events. I almost feel like that show could have been so much more. Like it was
But
such a shot of like our made for TV sports in those early
what do
90s.
you think of like it, how dangerous that
Yeah.
was that we didn't see that as kids. Like it looked like they took it like champs, and that
Yeah.
would be a great way to earn a living. But
Mhm.
now you're looking at it like as an old man. I'm looking like, wow, that
Yeah. There's the
humanly.
safety equipment is minimal. Just the headgear alone. Because they started with these like football helmets that they just put American Gladiator stickers on. Then they went to just those padded, like sparring, cushiony
Yeah.
helmets. Then they went to this like modified batting helmet with a cage in front of it. Like you guys were just making shit up and screwing things together. I'm surprised more people didn't get injured here, but that one got me, and I went straight to YouTube with that one. I was like, I gotta watch full episodes, and there was some
And the
there was some
sad the
really good
sad
ones.
one the sad one was my favorite was Thunder, the blonde Thunder. Um, and it was so sad to see the way he turned out, basically paralyzed. He's,
Right, there was some
you know,
sadness to this, a little
yeah,
bit of a
obviously,
darkness.
and it's so sad that like they weren't able to earn what they were doing, and people just got rich off them and just basically threw them to the curb. It was, a real lesson, and it's probably something a lot of kids should watch. Just how bad things can get if you let bad people in your life.
It mirrored the music industry in the early 90s where you break someone and then you sign a terrible contract because you need the studio more than the studio needs you. So you go, yeah, sure, I'll sign it. And then they make all the money, you make peanuts, and they own you. But you have
And
no
then they own
bargaining
you. And
power at the
right,
beginning.
you can't go sign with someone else. It's
Right.
non-compete.
Yeah. We couldn't have had the XFL of American Gladiators or something. And I gotta say, like all the women on there, like you go find them on Instagram now, still pretty attractive. I gotta say they held up. I was worried. I'm like, I'm gonna look up these women. It's gonna be a mess. They still look pretty
Right.
good. I'm gonna give it to them. That was a pleasant surprise. All right, we already went off track.
Already,
I,
yeah.
we're already in mid-season form. All right, let's talk Hard Knocks. Today was the season finale. The Jets, HBO alone has gone through a major change because it used to be the main pay channel in the game. Now we all have it. I stream it for just Hard Knocks and then I cancel it. Are you an
Right.
HBO guy? Do you always have HBO or do you just get it for Hard Knocks?
No, I always have HBO. I've always had HBO.
Yeah, that's true. You had it like as a kid, which always amazed me. Like
Yeah.
the options of entertainment you had at your fingertips. So you're always an HBO guy. You always have it.
Always an HBO. I've always, oh yeah, and if there's always one premium, if you're gonna only have one premium,
Right.
you get HBO.
Yep. Yeah. And then like remember there would be such a thing called the free HBO month. And
Right.
all the
Right.
cable, if you had a cable subscribe, it just gave it to you for a month, hoping you were subscribed to it
And then
after the
it was
month.
like a week. It was like right like a Sunday to
Was
Sunday,
it a
wasn't
week?
it?
Yeah, maybe it
Yeah,
was
I
a
think it was
week.
like a full Sunday
Yeah.
to Sunday.
And if you were like me who didn't have HBO regularly, you are just putting in blank tapes in the VCR, ready to hit record for a movie
Right.
you may want to watch later. Like, record that, record that. So HBO has been in our lives and it is evolving into its own thing now. I mean, it's called Max
You know,
now.
I remember I really enjoyed it as a kid that HBO did a Saturday night movie. And I want to say it was 8 Eastern, so I think maybe it started at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock our time. And it was just and it was a newer movie, and one that had box office success,
Mhm.
and now it was now going to be the premiere on TV. And then there were some HBO originals that were also premiered in that same time slot. I want to say that as far as HBO originals, they were putting out like one a month.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, they were
and,
early money on making their own stuff. And then Sopranos was the one that blew them up.
and then
But
and then
before that,
and
there
then
was
they
some
took
too.
over, and then they took over Sundays. Because
Hmm.
but always had that good quality programming. I thought Arliss was a great
Yeah.
show.
Hey,
It was
I'm with you on that. Maybe why we became such good friends is we're the only two that loved Arliss.
I loved Arliss.
I have been chastised many times about my love of Arliss, but you're with me on that. So I see that's our connection right there. Arliss was one.
Gary
Remember Dream
Shandling had a
On?
show.
The Gary
Dream
Shandling
On.
show. I never met another fan of or sorry, Larry Sanders show. I never met another fan of the Larry Sanders show till I was in my 20s. And I was like, "You watch that?" They're like, "Dude, I love that show." I was like, "I thought I was the only one in America watching this show." So that was an awesome one too. Like Dream On, they would have like
Yeah,
some weird
Dream
shows.
On
You're
was a
like, "What is
great.
this
I love
show?"
that show.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, there was some
HBO.
good ones.
Where are you on Hard Knocks as a fan? Do you watch it every year or is it dependent for you?
I gotta be honest, I haven't seen it in maybe 8 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just not I don't know. I mean, the thing is like if this year was different. I think they lucked out with the Jets because of the Aaron Rodgers story
Yeah.
alone. They just the stars align for HBO in that sense. But usually it's a pretty mediocre team, and
Yeah, this has never been more evident than this year because there's rules to the team
right.
that is
Like
selected.
if
So
like if you're in the playoffs, you automatically are exempt.
yeah, can't be a playoff team, can't be a first year head coach, can't be have on been on the season in 10 years. A couple exceptions to that. But it's always a team that's on the brink, essentially. So it is a team that I would wonder what team went on to have the best record after their Hard Knocks appearance.
That'd be a great
Yeah,
follow.
I should have looked that up. I'll put my staff on it. So that's one thing that I don't know works against Hard Knocks. And now with the million of streaming service, like we have awesome NFL documentaries going off season. You're not the only game in town, Hard
Yeah,
Knocks. So you're not a diehard Hard Knocks watcher.
not at
We
all.
we have the Jets this year. It wrapped up tonight. It's been an odd season. I think you've been jumping in and out of it, but it has been a very lackluster season. We haven't had the one crazy character. We haven't had a celebrity appearance.
Okay, let me
It's
ask you this. Has there been a fight?
There was fights. Yeah, that was one good. I think episode 2 there was like fights in practice, and then there was fights with the team they were having joint practices with. There were fights. That was good. A lot of Aaron Rodgers though. A lot of Aaron Rodgers and a lot of Coach Saleh, which um I have a lot of thoughts on. So if we start into the episode today, we start with cut day. And one of my favorite moments is when they tell this receiver that he's made the team. And they kind of have this little moment like, you're a Jet. You're on the family now. And he's really happy to do it. I'm like, oh, that was a really good moment. And then the next receiver they bring in and they give him the same line and they're like, you're on the team. I was like, oh, you just do this with every single player that comes in. So that was the start of the episode. So after watching this Hard Knocks episode, just give me your Jets season prediction. Do you have high hopes? Are they making the playoffs? What do you think?
I think they have. I love their on the defensive side of the ball. I love them. I think Sauce Gardner is going to be a generational a DB. When I say that, I may be saying that maybe the best cornerback since Dion. And I realize that Charles Woodson was out there, and I realized that other quality cornerbacks and Revis. I think Sauce Gardner is going to be that good.
You're high on this team then on the D.
I'm high on the defense.
Wow.
I'm really high on the defense. And again, I say that because I'm excited about Coach Saleh because he got the 49ers defense in shape that ended up playing in a Super Bowl, and so I know how hard he coaches and how much defense is valued. So I'm excited. I think they're going to make the playoffs. I think we're going to see a division there that they're going to have 3 playoff teams. I think it's going to I think it's going to be a Bills, Dolphins, Jets. There's a hot take right there.
Wow, I feel like I don't even know this. Carmona predicted the Jets in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I did not see this coming. The other thing with this episode, I thought this was actually a really good cinematic episode. I like the Izzy, I'm gonna butcher his name, Abodaka, the guy from Nigeria.
Yeah,
where him and his parents are in the tiny apartment or something, and the guys made the NFL. So I thought that was a great story, and we haven't seen a lot of the Jets family covered in the series. So I really like that part, the immigrant story, the fact that the son made good, the mom and dad have thick accents.
I remember from the old days, do they still like, there's always that like young couple, it's like the husband and wife, the college sweetheart.
Yeah.
Is there anything like that going on?
Well, that's what I felt it really lacked this year. There was Randall Cobb and his wife. They have little kids. That was real cute. They go to the park and say they're going to have a third. That was good. But, I mean, that's a veteran player.
I'm not into that.
No,
I want Antonio Cromartie baby mamas all fighting.
We lacked it this year. We really lacked that like not self-aware, crazy character. Everything is wholesome. In this,
I need a year of Johnny Manziel getting arrested and fights with his girlfriend, and I need the Cowboys when Zeke Elliott was doing crazy nonsense.
Remember the Antonio Brown one on the Raiders where helmet? Oh yeah, there was a helmet controverscy.
That was close to that was probably as close to controversy. That was really the start of when we started seeing just how crazy Antonio Brown was. He was freezing his feet,
Yeah, his feet. We saw his disgusting feet. He never even played for the Raiders. He never played a game. He was gone.
Didn't he show up in a hot air balloon or something?
So we did not have that with the Jets at all. The craziest thing in this episode, which I'm glad they didn't gloss over this, Aaron Rodgers claims to see a UFO. And I'm glad they didn't just cut away from this because this series has missed
This is big.
Yeah, I'm like, this series has buried so many leads.
But how do you, now that you know that Aaron Rodgers, does psychedelics, does that kind of change your perspective?
Yeah, a little bit. Because if you're really into UFOs and you tell me you saw a UFO, then I know you're not an objective jury, But it seemed like he did have a eyewitness corroborator with him. He had 2. He had his buddy from college and the buddy's brother. It seems like they definitely saw something there. And it makes me get a little curious to the thought of Aaron Rodgers' post football career. Like, can you just go full conspiracy theory, UFO podcast, or guest on all these shows? Because Aaron Rodgers is into this stuff, and I want to know more about it. I want to know where he sees these sightings. And on the flip side, I do think Aaron Rodgers has bought into this team. He does seem into this team.
Yeah. I
So,
agree.
so we had the UFO, and then we have the like almost the Spike Lee-esque New York 5-minute movie where they're showing people playing chess, a band out on the street, the bodegas. Really nice piece on New York. And then this is what I wanted your thoughts on mostly. The Jets go to a Broadway play and they see the play MJ. I was a little unsure if the whole team of Jets went to the play or just members went to the play. So, what is your favorite MJ song?
Yeah, Billie Jean.
Oh, Billie Jean, huh?
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
pick.
It's just a great. But the Thriller album. I mean, how can you pick one song? That whole album
Mhm.
changed the world, and.
Yeah, I remember there was people who had video cassette tapes of the making of Thriller. That was a big deal. Like, let's watch the making of Thriller. They show him putting makeup on.
But it's,
MJ.
it's the video that basically made MTV, you know,
Right.
and you could then get into like how much MTV influenced, modern day, apps, like YouTube TV, and how much it influenced YouTube and other video streaming and Instagram, and so I mean that's the kind of impact that album I think had on the
Mhm.
world. There was that great it introduced the 80s. It was like, okay, we're the 80s now. It's shit's
Mhm.
about to go crazy,
Yeah. It had that
um
commercialism element to it where Pepsi was a huge sponsor and like MJ was endorsed by XYZ and you knew it.
right.
So
And
it was
MasterCard,
very
Visa,
80s.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Mm,
You know which song I like by MJ? I like Human Nature. I think that song is very
great
good,
song.
underrated, a little sad and telling as well. I like that one as well. And MJ the musical looks awesome.
Yeah, I
That
gotta check it
play
out.
looked pretty damn good. And then I want to wrap up the big points with Hard Knocks with more Coach Sala ridiculous coach speeches. The guy can't stop. The guy has a problem, Omar. Omar, do you have a high give a shit factor? Have you ever heard that term before? That
Yeah.
was a good coach term. And then Coach Sala wraps up training camp with a PowerPoint presentation about climbing Mount Everest and comparing it to camp. And then, not to be outdone, he has to bring back the ridiculous crow speech from the first episode. And I didn't understand this one when he says, I've been on bad teams, and the worst thing is when the opposing coach on a good team tells you your team plays hard. I don't want to play hard. I want to kick your ass. Like, so what do you want, Coach Salo? I don't understand any of your parables or what's going on here. Did you get that one? Because I don't understand that one.
Can I be honest with you about Coach Sala?
Yeah, yes, please.
That was just for the cameras. I think he's way more in tune. I think what he does, that's part of it, but I think he's all combat. I could see him saying, okay, cameras, I gave you your 3 minutes, get out. And then
Mm.
he breaks it down for his team.
Oh, okay. So you're saying
That's
these are
that's what I think. That's what I think Salah does.
he's playing chess on
Yes.
the cameras because I don't know if you heard the crow speech, but I don't know what he was talking about. I don't know if the Jets are crows or eagles. By the way, factually inaccurate. Crows don't die at altitude, Coach Sala. And then this like, I don't like when another coach tells me my guys play hard. Do you want him to tell you they suck?
No,
Didn't
I think that
understand.
he has to see Bill Belichick twice a year. He
Hmm.
he's got to play chess. He can't be that out of tune.
Okay, so you're very Coach Salah's corner.
Yeah, on this one, yes.
And then of course, the season ended. My biggest disappointment, no Namath. We had no Namath. What he didn't I think the guy might be in poor health.
Did,
How did you not get him here?
did they say it was at health or?
No, no mention whatsoever. Just no
But then
Namath.
you
I
also
thought
know, like, maybe you could see Broadway Joe saying something that may be not politically correct in the Jets locker room.
hello, aren't we producing a drama? Let's
I,
hear it. We
I
want
mean,
it.
yeah, I could see my theory. So I had a theory on Coach Sala. Here's my theory on name if he said something offensive about Woody Johnson.
I'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
Would have made the season interesting. Give Aaron Rodgers another 5 minutes on the UFO. I wanted to hear more about that. You know I love UFOs. Okay, let's do the awards for Hard Knocks. Now you've never been on the Hard Knocks recap show, so I'm gonna walk you through it. There are 7 awards, similar to what we do, but they're specific to Hard Knocks. Award number 1 is the most memorable moment of the episode. I got one nominee and one nominee only, and it took me a lot to scratch out Aaron Rodgers' UFO. But I put the first receiver making the Jets team. I thought that was a very good moment.
Okay.
I liked it. I felt like there was a family atmosphere there.
I got your award.
I eliminate the fact that the very next receiver came in and they said the same words to him. So I went with the first receiver is my most memorable moment.
I'm gonna go with what I'm gonna retort your answers when I just told you I used to watch it, but so I'm gonna go with my most memorable moment from when I watched it years ago. I think it was the talent show that the Ravens had, and the rookies
Oh,
were
wow, going beyond this series.
We're going on Shannon Sharp and doing their impressions of Shannon Sharp, Ray Lewis, and other colorful Ravens characters, and that because that team, that defense, they were so great together, and so the team chemistry on that Super Bowl team, that core that obviously led by Ray Lewis, that was something special. Now I'll always remember that.
The greatest thing about that scene is just the bewilderment on Shannon Sharp's face that someone's impersonated. Like the rookie talent show should just be a staple. Every team needs to have a rookie talent show. And if it sucks, you guys are doing another one next week. It has to be good enough. Like if someone can play an instrument, somebody can do magic, we need to find out. Or someone wants to tell jokes, to do impressions. Absolutely. All right, good moment. Award number 2, this one's called Favorite Quote. I got 3 nominees. Nominee number 1 is Finish the Wall. Number 2, I saw a UFO at his house, Aaron Rodgers. And nominee number 3, you need a high give a shit factor. Those are my nominees. Do you like any of those quotes, or do you have a write-in vote?
No, you go on ahead. I like those.
Yeah, my winner's going to be I saw a UFO at his house, Aaron Rodgers. Good story. It proves that Aaron Rodgers actually has friends, too, because that guy was his former college teammate.
Favorite quote of mine from when I watched Hard Knocks, probably a newer one, when DeAndre Hopkins was going to fight D'Angelo Hall, what they were doing, I think Texans, Redskins were scrimmaging. And the DeAndre Hopkins is telling D'Angelo that he fears God. I don't know what that means. I don't know.
Interesting.
I fear God. I don't know. I don't know what that means. But it sounds cool.
I'll throw in another write-in throwback quote when Antonio Cromartie Jr. is naming his 13 children. I don't know if it's a quote so much as a monologue, but he's saying all the names and some of them are the same age.
Yeah, that was good too.
That's worthy. That's Hall of Fame. Award number 3, what job would you want from this episode? Now you can pick any staff member, any job that you may want to be from this episode. I got one. Number 1, it's not a job, but this one just stood out to me. When the receiver goes to what seems to be like a publicity outing for Buffalo Wild Wings, and
Oh yeah. Okay.
he's wearing the Buffalo Wild Wings like Letterman's jacket. I thought that jacket was fucking cool. But my job that I would want would be the guy who puts up the wall at the end of the episode. He's just by himself. He's got all his tools. He's just this afternoon. I'm putting up the pictures. I'm putting the paint up. He's measuring stuff. I want that job. I'll take that job from the episode. That was
Really?
cool. Yeah, that looked like fun.
I want the job, and from when I used to watch, I want the guy that's in charge of all the playbooks. You know, the one that when they're
Mm,
cut, he has to go get the playbook. Uh,
mm.
uh, Also, it's the guy that the coach sends to do like, go get so and so because I'm gonna cut him. You got to go knock on their door and say, hey, coach wants to talk to you. Bring your playbook.
Wow. You
And
would
your
want that job, huh?
Yeah, I want that job.
Wow.
I think you get a lot of gossip out of that job.
Oh, interesting. Interesting pick. Next award, it's called Unintended Comedy. And I got one and only one. The amount of memes we're going to see tomorrow about Aaron Rodgers and UFOs. Like, we are going to see his head on alien bodies. We're going to see Aaron Rodgers steering an alien ship with like a Jets emblem on it. We're going to see so many good memes tomorrow about Aaron Rodgers and UFOs is my unintended comedy for the episode.
I'm gonna go classic Hard Knocks. Bill Parcells coaching, all the audio clips from Bill Parcells. First of all, the old bike shorts that he was rocking. You know that obviously like the same bike shorts he was coaching in with the '80s Giants. You know, like,
Mm-hmm,
wearing
mm-hmm.
the same outfit. And so that was unintended, comedy.
Oh, that's good. Coach attire is its own category. Coach Solid dress is very normal, so
Oh,
we haven't seen coach attire really in a comedic sense from coaches in a while. They've kind of been coached up on what they
doesn't
can
it
wear.
seem though like coaches they're very focused on comfort now?
Think so? What do you mean, like
I
hoodies and
mean,
stuff?
yeah, I think it's that the tops. It just seems more like they're basically in pajamas on the sidelines.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And Bill Belichick is like ultimate comfort. Like they wear the like sweatpants or wind
Right.
pants. They kind
I
of
think
and
that's
it.
how I would go. I don't think I would be wearing a suit. I think I'd go pure comfort, stretch pants.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's a long game too, so you're gonna get sweaty. You're outside.
Yeah.
You got to go functional. I hear you. Next award. This one's called the producers meeting. What show would you make from this episode? Now, I tried to dig really deep on this one because I want to think of something good. And I thought, and I got the idea for when we did the 5 minutes of Spike Lee New York type of footage. I thought, let's have Spike Lee direct another like do the right thing type of New York movie. And Aaron Rodgers is like the crusty store owner. He's in the movie, like as a drama. Like it's not a big part, so he can pull it off. But like, let's see Spike Lee work with a non-actor. Let's see what he can get out of him. Just maybe a short movie. Keep it to 40 minutes type of thing. So that's my producer's movie if I want to make a show out of this
I
one
wanted to
episode.
make a show. I think if you wanted wholesome entertainment, I'm going to give you another throwback. The Chiefs Hard Knocks, backup quarterback. I think he was a rookie at the time. Brody Croyle from
Mm.
Alabama and his
Oh.
wife, very young couple and very Christian. You know, it was the beginning of the All American family, and I think they could have been a series on a Christian channel.
Oh, like a Hallmark series,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah, they could have
Yeah.
been a Hallmark. Yeah, somebody should
Yeah,
have
like
signed those people up immediately.
yeah, shots of like the wife putting up the Christmas tree in the nice
Oh yeah.
house with the open design. Yep, I could see that. Maybe like a family dinner because he's from Alabama. Maybe like one of those dinners where they all sit on the picnic table and the food's dumped on the table. That'd be a good show.
And then I'm gonna look them up right now and say, Brody Croyle serving 25 to life on a homicide of
That'd be part of the show.
uh,
I think I watched. I think he was on that team where on the years where Urban Meyer was coming up as the Florida coach. I don't know if you watched that
yes, he
Florida.
was.
Yeah, I don't know if you watched that Florida documentary that's on Netflix. That was really good too. And that wasn't just a puff piece on Urban Meyer. Like it really tackled how he kind of left a few teams and how he was just all about winning and some toes were stepped on. Very good documentary, that Florida one.
I gotta watch. I watched like the first 5 minutes and I was dozing off, but not because it was boring, just because I was tired. I said, no, I don't want to. I don't want to doze off. I got to be alert.
Well, you're a busy man. Next award, massive predictions. Based off of this episode, I have one massive prediction, and that is the Jets will get one big win this year. One win that's going to make us like talk about them for a week. But I think just one. And it might be week one. It might be they beat Buffalo week one. That's my massive prediction.
That's a great prediction. Massive prediction. World champions, the San Francisco 49ers.
I don't blame you going off the Hard Knocks script, by the way. I like that you're just like doing your own thing. You're like, you're steering over here. I'm going to go down this path for a while. Last award. Who won the episode?
Uh-oh.
3 nominees I got. Number 1, whoever plays the Jets in week 1, because I think they're going to kill them. A nominee number 2, Steve Levy, Aaron Rodgers' former teammate, came off looking pretty good in this episode where he's like, we were buddies and we saw a UFO together. I was staying at his house. And then last nominee is the MJ Broadway show. Looked awesome. I think those 3 all won the episode, and I'm going to give it to MJ. MJ won the episode.
Okay, good. That's a good call.
Yeah. Who do you got? Who won the episode? And take it anywhere you want, Omar.
Let me ask you this. Are you sold on the Jets this year?
No. I think if you give me over under 6 wins, I think I'm like, that's a push. Or if you say 6.5 wins, I'm like, they're going to win 6.
What don't you like about them?
They can't block anybody. They can't block anybody. The jury is still out if Aaron Rodgers is good, by the way. That last season was bad by Aaron Rodgers.
That's a hot take. You're calling out Aaron Rodgers?
You're saying he was good last year?
No, but I mean, they didn't give him any targets in Green Bay.
Okay. Fine with that. I think he tanked last year, though. I think he knew he was leaving.
Yeah.
And I think he tanked it. I really do. And I think there's even an argument to be made that Aaron Rodgers is an overrated QB. He won 1 Super Bowl. He has a bad playoff record.
2 years ago.
He wins MVPs. Yes, I will give you he wins MVPs, but his playoff record is bad. If you had Aaron Rodgers, how many Super Bowls would you?
I can't stand the guy, but
no, just talk about his play. You don't have to like him.
No, yeah, I don't. I mean, no, but I'm just saying. Even I, who don't like him at all, I give him a ton more credit as far as the player.
That's why I'm surprised that you took that stance. But if you had Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, you went to 1 Super Bowl, you won 1 Super Bowl. It's a 10+ year career. You went to 1, and the playoff record is bad. That game you lost to your Niners, he was bad in.
It's so funny that how you and I definitely saw the height of it. But we basically saw the same thing with Favre, you know.
Yeah. Favre was a playoff hack as well to me.
Yeah, it's ironic that Favre also ended up at some point with the Jets.
That's true.
But I just think that it's funny how full circle that came for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I really thought Favre was an overrated player in the playoffs.
And Aaron and also Favre got a Super Bowl and never went back, he
went back. He went to 2.
But he
lost
back.
The second one. Yeah.
But he never won again.
Right.
And
Aaron, that first Super Bowl was by and large Desmond Howard won that Super Bowl. That was a game at halftime.
Yeah.
And then the next year when the ball's in his hands, last drive of the game, he doesn't complete it. I think they turn it over on downs and Minnesota, the last year at Minnesota was his interception, his bad throw.
Right.
They would have went. So I'm thinking Favre It left a lot of wins on the table when it comes to playoffs as well. So I'm not high on the Jets. I don't think there's anything. They're young. The receivers are young. They look good. I think they're coachable. Like old man Rodgers is going to tell them something, and they're like, yeah, I'll do it. All right.
Okay.
So I'm not high on them. I don't think they can block anybody, but 6.5 wins. You're going to the over.
I'm going over. I'm going over.
Okay. All right. Who do you got winning the episode?
The Aaron Rodgers wins everything with the Jets.
Wow. Wow. I can't believe this Aaron Rodgers attitude you have. You like him. You like the guy. Is Aaron Rodgers winning you over?
No, but I just give him a lot more credit. I think that he has a chance to give one final push. I really am going to give him that credit.
All right, let's take a break, and then we're going to do our Sunday Night Talk season preview. All right, coming back, the season preview. This is our 4th year doing it. We talk about our lives. We talk about our Sundays. We give out awards for our Sunday in the NFL. So let's start off with this big picture notes. NFL Sunday Tickets on YouTube now. Big departure for cable owners. Did you already purchase Sunday Ticket on YouTube?
You know what? I have not yet, but I will. And I should have done it. There was a special at the very beginning I should have got, but I'm gonna do it.
You are gonna do it.
Yes, for sure.
What's the consensus in your friends and family? Because with me, it's 50-50 here. Some people are like, no way, I'm still not doing it. And some people are like, oh, I'm going to give it a shot. People seem skeptical, but they're going to give it a shot.
But my stepdad, he's a big Sunday Ticket guy. And I know my father-in-law, Paul, appreciates the Sunday Ticket, that we have it, but I wouldn't see him getting it for himself. I don't think my family's really sold on Sunday Ticket. I am, but the rest of my family probably not.
Really? How about friends and your like football friends?
Yeah, they're all Sunday Ticket.
They're all going to purchase it on YouTube.
Yeah, I think so.
Really? Okay.
I mean, I already switched over, but as soon as football season ended last year, I was done. I've been wanting to.
You announced it on the show.
I hated DirecTV. Yep.
DirecTV was bad. Like the Foursquare, the Red Zone, all needed. It needed like an improvement, a revamping. So part of me is like, I want to see what YouTube does with this. This looks like they could really take it somewhere. That'd be fun.
Can I do a suggestion for the league?
Yes.
Can we do one simulated preseason Sunday Ticket, like a full slate of games? I mean,
ooh.
And just so that we kind of see the interface of the app, and kind of like maybe tweak some things during the just a thought. Did you just line all the season games up as
kind of like the HBO free weekend?
Exactly.
Yeah, and you watch you. That's pretty good. Oh, what's Red Shoe Diaries? I'll check this out, baby. Looks pretty good. It says it has nudity. All right, so you're up on YouTube. All right, here's my other point to hit as the season gets rolling. I'm calling it Coach Watch. My names on my Coach Watch are Sean Payton, Robert Saleh, Josh McDaniels, my coach.
Yeah.
And you know who I have on my Coach Watch is the Bills coach, Sean McDermott. If they go to the playoffs and lose in the first round, or they don't go to the playoffs, I think he's on the hot seat. He's got too much talent.
I think you're on to something there. I think that he is going to be. It's going to come down to, why aren't you winning? You have an MVP quarterback, in Josh Allen. You got an offense. You got arguably one of the best receivers in the league in Stephon Diggs, and you got a great defense. So yeah, I could see that it's either you're gonna have to blame it on Josh Allen or the coach. And I'm sorry, the coach is not going to win.
Coach is going to be on the chopping block. Yeah.
11
wins. 11 wins is not enough. at this point. The teams are too good, especially in that division. Um, who do you have on your coach watch? Is there anybody who you think is not going to last the season? First of all, like
Honestly, I don't see how your team makes it anymore with Josh McDaniels. I just I don't know why he has a job. I think
I'm a little
he's a
worried.
great
I definitely share
I
that
think he's
concern.
a great coordinator. I think he's a great coordinator, and but I think he lacks structure. Um, that I think that's why he does well as a coordinator because he depends on the Sabins and the Belichicks to give him structure.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting start of the season for my Raiders with Jimmy G. Josh Jacobs is back on the team. We traded Waller. Very interesting. I wonder how it's all going to mesh. I'm a little worried. However, this is the best time of year to be optimistic about your team as well.
Yeah,
I share that concern. Josh McDaniels, if he has a bad season, I don't see them firing unless it's horrific. So I think we're still invested in the man. Okay, what about this? This one's called Teams You Like, Teams You Dislike. Is there any team hovering on the radar that you think is poised to have a really, really good season? I got my star by it. Number one, I wrote Detroit and I crossed it out. And then I wrote Miami. For some reason, I think Miami is poised to have a good season. And I have no points to back that up, but I'm choosing Miami.
I think they're very poised to have a good season. I think that's not a bad pick. I think the Jets are poised to improve, but let's go out of that, division because we've talked a lot about the Jets already. I think Pittsburgh is a team to look
Mm.
out. I think I don't think they have anything to lose.
I was so worried about Pittsburgh because number one, like, who's their quarterback? But I haven't talked to anybody that's worried about Pittsburgh. I had a Pittsburgh fan on the show last week, and he was like, nah, don't worry about Kenny Pickett. Don't worry about Kenny Pickett. We got D. He's a game. We got Mike Tomlin. It seems like I'm the only one worried about Pittsburgh, but you seem fine as well.
Yeah, totally
Hmm.
fine.
Did you like
Yeah,
them?
I like them. I
They
like them.
can they can win their division. You like them, or wild card? You like them?
I like them wild card.
Okay. Where are you on the Ravens this year?
I think they're going to be strong.
Yeah.
I'm hoping. I think that's going to be a surprise division. I think we're going to see some quality football out of that whole division this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying Browns are going to be a wild card, because just Browns are just the Browns. They're going to find a way to disappoint. But it wouldn't shock me if they play 500 football.
Okay. Any teams you dislike
Yeah.
for the year?
I do not think the Eagles are going to do well.
Oh, really?
Not high
Hmm.
on the.
Not high on the Eagles. Well, if you listen to Coach Salah's speech in episode one, apparently Eagles can fly higher than crows, and thus crows die at altitude.
Not high. Not high on the Eagles. Um,
Mm.
um,
Why
um,
not? What do you think's going on there? Like a slump?
I think there's gonna. It's that Super Bowl hangover, losing team hangover.
Mm-hmm. The Eagles. I didn't think you were gonna pick that. My pick is the Browns. And you know why? Because now I worry about every team that gives a player a big contract the year following. Some reason like Zeke Elliott, as soon as he got the big contract, he went back to be normal Zeke Elliott. Like don't ever pay running backs anymore because you can put a new one in anytime you want. So I'm going with that theory with Deshaun Watson. I'm worried they're gonna be bad.
How about this?
I dislike them.
For the second year in a row, the NFL's worst division, the NFC South, Buccaneers, Panthers, Falcons, Saints. Yeah,
Mm.
I hate to do that to my boy, Derek Carr, I've always
Your boy. He's your boy now? Why is Derek Carr your boy?
did I just take him? Did I just take him?
You
No.
took him. What
Um,
happened?
no. I just think that worst division in football. They it's sad to see. Those are just sorry teams, in my opinion.
Yeah, you were naming those teams, and I was just like one after another. I was like, oh, oh,
Yeah, it's all
oh,
bad.
oh, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I got a high don't give a shit factor with these teams. That being said, who do you think will win that division?
I don't know. I
I
mean,
don't know. I don't want to know.
yeah,
Jesus.
I don't really. None of those. I mean, at least the Panthers are starting with a brand new franchise quarterback, right? I mean, it's Bryce Young, the
Yeah.
number one pick. So he's the franchise, right? I mean, when you pick the number one, when you have the number one overall pick, and you make that pick, you are saying that that is now the face of your franchise. So
Yeah.
I actually think things are looking up for the Panthers because
Mm-hmm.
if there's a division you want your rookie quarterback to start in, hey, that's a winnable division, and
Hey, that's a good point. Yeah, you're
build
making sense on
you
the
build some
count on the
confidence.
Panthers.
Hey, you got the guy was playing some meaningful games in December, and quality starts. So I think I'm let's go with the
Okay.
Panthers. But
Yeah.
I just talked myself
Yeah, you did.
into the Panthers.
Yeah, you just talked yourself into another hour of HBO free weekend. Now you're not even watching Red Shoe Diaries. You're watching something like after, comes on after Red Shoe Diaries, like Poison Ivy or something, which was a good series, by the way. Interesting. That division is going to be, we're going to forget about that division by October. It is going to be very forgettable. Okay, two more points. But before we get to that, I want to know about political Carmona because you are now running for office. Where did the idea come from? And what is the office you are running for? And are you going to put the reins on yourself for the Sunday night talk? Are we going to get a subdued Carmona because he's very conscious of
No,
his public image? What's
nothing
going on
changes.
there?
Nothing changes. We're gonna have some fun. I'm looking forward to the season, but I'm running for the 65th Family District Court. Really excited about my run. It's the juvenile court and the CPS court. So I've been working with kids for a long time now, and it's something I hopefully I can do and continue my work with kids.
What is the role of the judge you are running for?
The role is just to see that justice is done, to be fair and impartial to, every party that comes in front of me, and just to do the job, and make sure that, kids are taken care of, the ones that we're going to rehabilitate, and we commit to that. And that means holding, our people accountable, probation officers, attorneys, prosecutors, community partners, holding everybody accountable because these kids matter. And so,
So, like, if a crime or something is committed by someone who's underage, you will oversee that case.
yep,
Is that right? I
yeah,
see.
yeah.
I see. Okay. And what is the running like? Is it difficult to run for city office? What is it called? City office?
This is the county. I'm running to be a state judge, but it's a county-wide election.
Hmm.
So
And then running itself, how difficult has the campaign been for you?
right now I don't have an opponent, but I'm running as if I do, and I think someone is going to run. I mean, you always hear rumors, but I can't imagine this is going to be uncontested. But I started early. I started raising money early, and so right now I'm committed to it.
So, because it's almost election time, which is kind of fun. So, in running, is there going to be any debating? Do you get to state your qualifications to the public? How
Yeah,
does this
I think
work?
that's all you can do because as a judge, you're really not supposed to commit to any like take a stance on anything because nothing's in front of you and you're supposed to be impartial at all times.
Hmm.
So it's a unique office that I can't say that I'm partial to this or that, even when I'm running, and that makes a lot of sense. Um, but yeah, I guess you just go with qualifications. I've defended, probably in the thousands, juveniles, charged with so many different crimes, even the most serious capital murder. And
Hmm.
I've represented children in a CPS setting. So and I've dealt with the schools in disciplinary proceedings. So I have been able to work with kids in just about every aspect.
Is it do you have you sorry, I'll rephrase it. Do you have to disconnect your feelings or emotions when dealing with juveniles or children who are at the most risk? Like, I can't imagine you don't hear horrendous stories on a daily basis with kids that are just put in bad
Right.
situations. How would you deal with that?
You always have to check your emotions. You can't let your emotions make any decisions for you because you have to let the law and what is right, make your decisions. But it's got to be justice that dictates. But that's a it's a real tough question.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I would imagine that it is different in every case because we all have the stories, you've heard them all. I mean, a lot of us have
But
kids.
a lot of exactly. But I think even though you can't let your emotions run um, run your entire decision making process, but at the same time you have to have some sort of empathy for the people that are in front of you. And sometimes your empathetic feeling comes from your gut, and it's not something that you can read. So yeah, emotions do play a factor, but it's you just got to control it.
Uh-huh. Last question. Why the change? Why did you go from being a lawyer to the interest in being a judge?
Because I think it's just that I think I've done everything I could representing kids, when they've been accused of some serious crimes, but now I want to continue my work with kids, but just a different role. And I think for me, just from a personal satisfaction point of view, it just makes the most sense to continue this path that I'm on with working with kids.
Well, that is Omar Carmona 2023 running for office, currently unopposed, but he's ready. Look out.
Hey, go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hopefully you keep us apprised on the developments as the season goes on with your running for judge there. All right. We're going to do two things here to wrap up our preview show. We're going to go through each of our team's schedules and we're going to predict the wins and losses. And finally, we're going to have the unveiling of the 2023 awards categories for the upcoming season. I changed some of them, some remain, some are different. I think you're going to like that. But first, let's do the schedule. All right. Your 49ers. Let's go through them. We're going to go win or loss. Week 1, you are at Pittsburgh. Win or loss.
Win.
Week 2, at the LA Rams.
Win.
Week 3, home for the Giants.
Win.
Wow, 3-0 so far. Week 4, home for the Cardinals.
Win.
Jeez. Week 5, Sunday night, home for the Dallas Cowboys.
Win.
Geez, so right now you have the Niners 5-0. Okay, you're just nodding your head like I should already know this. All right, week 6 at Cleveland.
Win.
Ah, come on, that's a trap game. Week 7 at Minnesota.
Win.
Oh, all right. If you go through this whole thing and they're all wins. All right, week 8.
Patrick, you kind of get where this is going.
Jeez.
undefeated Super Bowl champions.
What
Never been
happened?
done before. The San Francisco 49ers.
What happened to all that impartial talk? Now where the Niners are 17 and 0,
This
not
is
impartial at all.
top to bottom. They are the
Jeez.
best team in
Oh,
the league.
wow. All right, I'm gonna talk you down here. Week 8, home for Cincinnati.
Win.
Oh, wow. Week 9 at Jacksonville.
Win.
Okay. Week 10, Tampa Bay, home.
I'll switch Jacksonville. That's going to be a loss. We'll take a loss.
Okay.
That'll be the first loss of
That's
the
the
season.
first loss. Okay. At Jacksonville. Long commute over.
Right.
Jet lagged. Okay. All right. Home for Tampa Bay.
Then they rip the heads off of Tampa Bay the next week.
Wow. Do we even know who's the quarterback at Tampa Bay?
Baker Mayfield.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Week 11 at Seattle.
Win.
Week 12 at Philly.
Win. I think
Oh
Philly's
my
going to be terrible.
God. Week 13, home for the Seattle.
Win.
Jeez. Week 14 at Arizona.
Loss.
Week 15, home for Baltimore.
Loss.
Wow. Week 16 at Washington.
Win.
Win. And finally, week 17, home for the LA Rams.
Win.
So you have 3 losses. You have this team going 14 and 3.
Yep.
14 and 3. All right, I'm writing it down. All right, let's do my team. Week 1 at Denver.
You asking me?
Yeah, I'm going to ask you on all these.
Okay.
'Cause unlike you, Omar, I am impartial. I cannot judge my own team, even though I did already run through this in my head. I have my predictions.
Okay. At Denver,
At Denver.
loss.
You go loss. Week 2 at Buffalo.
Loss.
Ooh. Week 3, home for Pittsburgh.
Win.
Win. All right, we agreed on one. Week 4 at the Chargers.
Loss.
Home for Green Bay.
Win.
Home for New England.
Oh.
We got
was
Josh
just thinking-
McDaniels going against an old team.
Loss.
Ooh, loss.
Remember
My
what
God.
happened last year?
Payback.
Payback.
All right. October 22nd, a game I will be attending, Omar Carmona, at the Chicago Bears.
Beautiful. Loss.
Oh, that's it. This show's over. At Detroit. They're staying in the Midwest here.
Loss.
Home for the Giants.
Loss.
You are not high on my team.
No.
Home for your Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets.
Loss.
Come on. At Miami.
Loss.
Oh, you have them losing 6 games in a row here. Well, shoot, it's about to be 7. Home for Kansas City. I can't believe this is the one you're thinking the most on.
Loss.
Man. Home for Minnesota?
Loss.
Jeez, Omar, are you even trying? Home for the LA Chargers.
Win.
Oh, wow, how nice of you. At Kansas City.
Loss.
Wow. You know what? You are letting your Jimmy G hatred cloud your judgment,
It's
Omar.
not that.
I
You
might have to
guys-
run against you
Can I
as
say
just to
something?
keep you in line.
Can
I'm
I
going to run
say-
against you.
Here's my hot take.
All right, go ahead.
Tom Brady tanks a season so he can get Arch Manning or at point.
Why would they give Jimmy G a contract if they want to tank the
Oh,
season?
get rid of Jimmy G.
Well, why give him a contract?
Oh,
All right,
you have to have somebody play the damn position.
last 2 weeks at Indianapolis.
Win.
And week 17, home for Denver.
Win.
Wow, how gracious of you. All right, so you have
I'll give you like 7 wins.
you gave 5. Give me 5 wins.
5-12. Yuck.
I'm looking at my count here. I give him way too many wins. I gave him 11 wins. That's too high. I think 9. I think 9 is very possible. You gave him 5 and 12. All right, that was our preview of our own team schedules. You were very high on yours. You almost went undefeated. You almost gave my team all losses. But now, our final point is the unveiling of the new categories for 2023. There are 8 of them, some new, some classics. Here we go. Category number 1. This one is called Best Quote of the Day.
Okay.
You can pick any quote from a team, from a commercial, from an announcer, from your own family, even if it so happens.
Okay.
Quote of the day is a new category. Next category, tried and true. This one remains. This is the Hot Take Award. This one's not going anywhere. Hot Take Award is still in our categories for 2023. As you know, we give a hot take, a prediction of anything and everything. So that remains. Next category unveiling. This one is new to the show. This one is called Best Innovation for the week. So if you want to pick an innovation or you want to give the NFL an innovation to implement,
that's nice.
That's new for the year.
Let's roll with it.
It can be anything. It can be NFL Sunday Ticket related as well. That's going to have a lot of things to talk about. Programming. You can throw in Nickelodeon as well.
Let's do it.
Innovation is new. Next category to be unveiled. The Cringeworthy Award. That was there last year. One of the fan favorites for sure.
Yeah, that's a fan favorite.
Got to keep that one. Next category. A newcomer to the show. This one is called Best Costume Design. You get to pick out a fashion trend, a uniform you liked, a suit you liked. Best costume design.
I like that.
Yep. Next category unveiled. Another new one to the show. This one is called Advice Alley. You give somebody advice for the week.
Could be a player, a coach.
Player, coach, family member.
Owner.
Give me advice. Advice Alley is new. Next category. Another new one. This one is called the Sunday Double Feature. After this Sunday, you will choose a movie to add to cap off your night of the Sunday Double Feature. So you just finished the games. What are you watching?
I like it.
That's your double feature. And lastly, the last category for 2023 is the only way to end every show with Who Won the Week is on there. So,
as always,
those are the new categories. So
I like it. I think that's great.
4 new ones to talk about. I want to do something with fashion, uniforms, because we have talked about uniforms offline quite a bit. So we needed to do something with fashion. So 4 new ones, and then 4 old favorites that I think we have a lot we can work with there. So the season starts this week.
All right, let's get it done.
Here it is. Omar Carmona. He is running for judge of the 65th court. The NFL is coming up. So Omar, I will see you on Sunday.
Peace.
That is it. That is the show. That is Hard Knocks. Putting a bow on Hard Knocks and the New York Jets. I don't know how you felt about that season overall, but I thought there were some hits. I thought there were some question marks. I did not see aliens coming, though. I think that might be my favorite part of the whole episode. I want to know more about aliens, and I want Aaron Rodgers to give it to me. How about Omar taking a surprising defensive role of Aaron Rodgers? That guy's a wild card. Don't forget, hey, if you are new to the YouTube channel, please subscribe to my channel. All my comedy is up there. All my interviews are up there. And as you will see, the Sunday Night Talk is going up there every Sunday night. We cap off our Sundays. We cap off football as well. So, the season is upon us. Omar Carmona is advancing rapidly up the city council ladder. He's running for judge. Check him out. He is unopposed right now. So if you want to run against him, hey, maybe you could do that. But right now, he is very high on the 49ers. So I hope you have a good week. I hope you watch football on Sunday. But if you don't, that's what we're here for. The Sunday Night Talk goes up this Sunday. I want to thank Omar Carmona, my co-host, for joining me. I want to thank you for listening. And I will see you very soon.